What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, SoFi is up 1.29%, roughly around 20 minutes left in the trading day. 813 the low, so as soon as the market opened, it had a very swift sell-off, and then 846 is the high. Pre-market, you did see a hell of a lot of optimism, so it did reach a high of roughly like 848, pretty much where it did peak during the trading day anyways, but yeah, it's all over the place, and no doubtably, you're going to see a continuation of this as everyone has their opinion on what that 50 basis points means for the long term. Does it mean that it's going to be a recession? Does that mean essentially that it's going to be really increasing consumer buying power and potentially help a lot of fintechs and just the broader economy? What is going to happen? That's what everyone and their dog is really thinking. But latest data for the initial jobless claims that just came out was a lot better than anticipated. So one thing that Powell was really concerned over was labor, and so far, consumers are still doing a fairly good job all in all. So 219,000, the actual 230, the forecast. Fear and greed index right now is under the greed category, so people's appetite for risk is very increasing and very much there. As of right now, though, you do see a 40.9% likelihood of obviously a 50 basis point cut. And so I think that would be generally optimistic. But once again, we're kind of back in that whole September scenario where bare minimum, it'll be like 25 basis points, possibly another 50. So this might be another nail biter of a kind of Fed meeting. So we'll just have to wait and see, but no actual news associated to SoFi today. There was a couple Form 4s that was submitted after hours yesterday. Nothing really crazy, just a lot of individuals right here did receive some shares. Was exercised, and then obviously transaction code F, so taxes were taking off. So nothing really crazy if you ask me. I'm a little bit more concerned in my opinion over straight up sells based on this, rather tax purposes. So it is what it is, nothing really to buy nor sell based off of. This is now the third consecutive day of shorts returning. So I've been saying this for a while that shorts are overextended. And not just with SoFi, but many other fintechs. But right now, shorts are returning 798,000 shares. 18.76% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 196.42 million shares. I'm not going to jinx it, but just kind of draw your attention to that section right here that I'm highlighting. Cost to borrow average is 0.57%. So it's been good over the last couple trading days, and just generally with SoFi over the last 5 days, it is up 7.12%. Over the last 1 month, up roughly around 15%. So it's good. Little wins, even though it is pulling back slightly. I still feel that it's made a lot of good improvement. Looking at options, a lot of money is getting into SoFi today. 9.7 million shares being traded, 1.8 is the average. And so sentiment wise, 49% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish, and this is what the call options kind of look like. So with it, obviously for the most part above $8, you kind of have to subtract that 850. Like I said, that's just usually hedging and whatever else. So there is a lot of optimism at the $9 strike price for it to be there, whether it be this week or next week. But this is the current open interest. This is what we all care about. And so right now there is 53,000 at that 8, 14,000 at the 750, and then 19,000 at that 7. So once again, shorts have been returning over the last 3 days, but if I was a betting individual, I would say that shorts might awaken tomorrow to try to suppress it below $8, but what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor, and my crystal ball sometimes is wrong, but let's say SoFi does have a nice push higher tomorrow. There is also 39,000 at that 850 and then 46 at the 9. So very popular chain that we are on. So the expiry of September the 20th. These are some of the transactions that is occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you did see a lot of buying coming from big entities up until roughly around that 10 o'clock range. So roughly around kind of here. And then it just halted. So algorithmic trading has been picking up a lot of the volume right here. This is why you see a lot of barcoding, as well as shorts have been fairly active. So 50.1 million shares being traded, 40.1 is the average. And this is the downfall of algorithmic trading, really kind of making up a lot of volume, not with just SoFi, but with a lot of other stocks, is it's hollow. And the reason what I mean by that is, for instance, if big money is buying around, let's say, certain strike prices, then yeah, that's very good. It adds a lot of good, true, solid support. But algorithmic trading, they don't follow that dynamic, right? They just trade for the most part back and forth among each other. And so if someone just turns off the switch, poof, there it goes. So that's why I always do bring up where the volume is truly coming from. So it does kind of look like it's being artificially propped up a little bit, or at least it was. Now it's just getting kind of dragged down. These are all the transactions that is occurring on the dark pool. So very abnormally quiet for whatever reason. And dark pool is often enough linked to shorting. So even though shorts are returning quite a lot, it seems to be a lot of smaller transactions versus larger. So once again, something to kind of keep in mind. Right now with $8.20, it is regrettably below this R1. So $8.31 will be that strong resistance / target that you'll want to watch for it to get hopefully above tomorrow. And then flip side, 743 or around the $8 psychological support is going to be pretty much next. And also on a side note, I'm looking at the 1-day chart on a FYI. On the actual chart itself, still looking fairly good. I'll move this over so you guys can see. So it is still fairly good, higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it very overbought. So the first sign of weakness, you'll see more of a potential pullback, consolidation. So that might be coming over the next couple of trading days, similar to what happened pretty much near the tail end of August. But again, I think the market's still trying to digest what that 50 basis points does truly mean. Number of retail investors are getting out, which is kind of, I didn't really anticipate that. So if you did sell out today, let me know why. Do you think that the 50 basis points does mean that there is a potential let's say recession or a large recession coming? Or did you just want to kind of take profits? Nothing wrong with taking profits. Some people love stocks too much, and that's one thing that I'm really good at, is not putting any emotion in any stock that I do invest in. So I merely trade based on technicals, as I've shared with you in the past. When I've sold SoFi, I'm very apparent, especially I think last time it was like $9. I said I was going to sell it out, buy back at X price, and I did it. And so yeah, maybe some people are doing that. So if you are part of that group, let me know your thoughts. With all that said though, appreciate all of you guys watching.